Computer. Leslie, how's it going?
Awesome, Michael. How are you?
Good. I'm super. Everyone in this is Leslie Dickey, who's now been at EXP Realty here in Toronto for 4 months. Brand new agent, new licensee. So EXP Realty is your first brokerage. And
Yeah.
Leslie, why don't you tell us more about yourself in terms of what did you do prior to becoming an agent, and what made you choose EXP Realty of your options out there?
Yeah. Well, Michael, I come from a background of education, and I also did several years. I have a staging company. So I knew quite a bit about different real estate brokerages around. And when I came across EXP, I realized that they had extensive training, which was really important to me because of my education background, that I wanted to make sure that I had the right training and the right mentorship. And what I loved about EXP model was that they have an EXP University, which offers like so many different courses that you can take in different fields.
Mm,
And the other thing that they also offer is a mentorship program in which you get a mentor that can help you through the first so many weeks or months. In actual fact, I still talk to my mentor every week. He's
mm,
available for me. And so that was really important to me to have that training. The other thing that they do is they have a 12-week program that gets you started. It's called a boot camp.
mhm.
And so every week you go to this boot camp and they give you, ideas of how to start. They give you homework to get you going. So I really enjoyed that and felt that it gave me a really good foundation in my first 12 weeks of working.
Mhm.
So that was sort of the biggest reason why I joined EXP. The other reason was that in EXP are sponsored, and the sponsor group that I'm in is awesome. It has so many fantastic, really top agents, and they're all there to help and support you. And I joined through a friend of mine who couldn't speak any higher than he did about the group. That they were so supportive of him and that type of thing. So that was really important to me, to have a group of people who were like-minded, who were into helping other people succeed. And that's sort of what EXP is all about, is helping everybody out and being part of like a larger team, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So, what's so is you new in looking at like the EXP model, that one thing which kind of made it different was the fact that you not only get the EXP training and their staff and their boot camp, but you also get the support from the agents. And
Yes,
you
in
had
your
and you had
group.
a close friend who said that they were enjoying their EXP experience so far. Mm,
Absolutely, yeah. And one of the reasons was that support group that you have in your sponsorship, that they're always available, they're there to help you, to back you up, to cheer you on. And that was something that was really attractive to me as well. Yeah.
nice. And so talk about like let's talk about the first few weeks, because something I really like about you, Leslie, is I find you very coachable. You don't have much of an ego. You're always bringing a positive attitude, and it was like, Michael, tell me what to do. Jerome, tell me what to do. And you did it. You made your contacts, you made your conversations. So what was that like for you? And how have your results been so far?
Well, that experience was absolutely a learning experience, but I was wanting to know exactly what to do to get to where I want to be, right? So you just got to, I knew that I just had to go in there and make my contacts and
Mhm.
work as hard as I can. But also, you're going through a bunch of other training because you need to know how to use the CRM
Right.
that EXP gives you, which is a great CRM for, anything you want to do. There's lead generation on there. There's, mass emailing, mass texting. You can make a video. So it's a really great platform. So there's so many things that I had to do in the first 12 weeks. So it was pretty crazy.
Right.
Um, but getting that all up and running kind of got me into like the mode of like
Mhm.
knowing what I have to do every day, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And so you kind of hit the ground running and you just keep going
Oh,
and you don't
that's right.
stop.
Yeah. And you're being humble. So Leslie already sold the house and is already pretty much closed on it. And that was within her like first maybe 4 or 5 weeks. So the first, especially for a new licensee, I'm sure you'd agree. It's it's somewhat intense the first month because you're balancing, of course, doing the typical jobs you need to do for lead generation, while at the same time familiarizing yourself with the MLS, the
Yeah.
CRM, of course, paperwork management and such.
Yeah.
So now, if I'm hearing you correctly, like you're pretty confident with your overall pipeline, like your leads. I know you've got a few deals coming, right?
I do. Yeah. I closed my first deal a little bit ago, and that was really exciting. And I'm working with some other buyers and investors. So, all it is getting out there and making your contacts and door knocking if you want to door knock or cold call. And, you'll, that's just all part of the business. But the greatest thing is that in my
Mhm.
group, we share the things that we do. And
Okay. Yeah.
so if somebody like, is making 100 contacts in a week, we celebrate it. And I like that. That's nice. It's really great, fantastic support. So even though like I'm an independent agent, not working on a team, I kind of feel like I have a team because
Right.
everybody's rooting for you.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So I really like that it just makes you feel like, oh, I'm part of something a bit bigger than just myself. I'm here with other people that are trying to accomplish and help other people, you know, buying and selling homes, right? So yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah, but
yeah,
buying and selling, and it's fun making money with people and the high fives that go around, and we have this
absolutely.
camaraderie. Like I've never been exposed to a community like this, and then it's just
Yeah, I haven't either.
mhm,
And I come from the education field,
right.
and even though we're supposed to be high-fiving each other, it wasn't like that.
Oh, really?
This this is way different and a lot more fun, actually.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Yeah, and I was gonna ask, so how did that first deal come about, and what was it like?
Well, the first deal was somebody that I knew,
Hmm.
so was somebody from my sphere of influence, and it was super fun. Like we
Hmm.
had so much fun. It was a buyer, first time buyer,
Right.
and we had to put in a few deals, a
A
few
few
different
offers,
offers.
right? Because of the
Yeah,
market.
and until we got it, and we had to go through the whole process sort of together. It was my first deal, his first house. But it was super fun and showing the houses and finding the houses and talking to agents. And there's a lot of really great people
And
out
and
there,
so
which
and so
is,
he knew that you were a brand new agent.
he
So
did.
so everyone,
Yeah.
this is a really important takeaway, Leslie, because there's I speak to agents very often who say that my friends and family won't use me because I'm a brand new agent. And this is a perfect example of Leslie without the negative thoughts. She just, she's talking to her friends, family, past clients from her staging business, and she's mentioning that she's a new agent, excited to help you out. And I know Leslie will work very hard for her clients, and they're giving her business. And um,
There.
yeah. And so
Yeah.
for all the new agents, this is something to consider. You don't need to wait that long for your first transaction. It doesn't have to
No.
be such a hard, grueling process because you think you have to go through that in order for you to like break the ice and then get into momentum. You're already in momentum. And I'm like really excited to see how your first year pans out, then your second year. Um, because you're at a stage where sooner enough you're going to need maybe an assistant. Maybe year 2 or 3 you can bring on another agent, because what so is you're enjoying the business and you also like working with buyers to some extent.
Yeah, the buyers were really fun.
Mhm.
Like I've been doing staging for about 13 years, so I'm used to working with sellers.
Mhm.
Just maybe not on the paperwork side, but the buyers was really fun. We saw a bunch of houses and laughed a bit because of certain things that we saw, right? And we had a really good time doing it, and I enjoyed it. I have to say though that it does take time to get used to doing everything that has to be done filling out the paperwork. But
Mhm.
my team was so amazing and supportive. I called them up, asked them for help. They were right there for me. And that was really important to me because I didn't want to feel like I was alone. And
Mhm.
being in EXP, I I don't feel alone. Like I have my support group, but then I also have the bigger brokerage people, if I need to call on them, all like just get online and they're right there and
Right, right.
they answer
Exactly.
so quickly, you know.
Yeah, they really do. So that's like everyone, that's the actual EXP staff. So we get a directory of who in the staff is responsible for what. So there are people who help with offers specifically. So Leslie's saying that she gets the whole EXP staff for help, and then she also gets the agents who are doing sales. And so I know in a position that's somewhat relatable to Leslie. I remember I think you were doing a deal which involves some land and you wanted to know how to go about it. And so prior to that, you lost a few bidding wars, right? Just making
Yes.
making offers with your clients.
Yeah.
So what is the training as far as like the boot camp and the fast start sessions? What's that been like when you did initially get your license?
So the boot camp was great. It's a once a week, like 2 hour class
Mm-hmm.
in which they focus on different aspects of real estate, from your business plan to working with buyers, working with sellers, the filling out forms. So every week has a different theme to it. And they give you homework to do. So you might go and fill out a form just to try it out.
Mm-hmm.
They will say, okay, well, we want you to add 10 people to your database today for next week. And they hold you accountable. They make you fill out a sheet and say when you've done your classes.
Okay, nice.
So that was, I found, was really, really helpful because it broke down every aspect of what you needed to do: social media,
Nice.
um, you know, to calling people, to knocking on doors. Like, they just cover absolutely everything. And so it's a really good way to get started, because obviously you don't know everything yet. And so they
Mhm.
break it down in nice chunks and it gets your momentum going, right? But in the
Yeah.
meantime, there's also other courses that you can take and that you have to take, that they have all set up for you. So your telelisting you get, and you get training for that, which was really helpful because you can see your areas and you can use the numbers to call people. So, and then if there's something of interest that you want to do, there's also in the EXP University probably 10 to 15 different classes each and every day, held by people that are experts in the field, like all over the country. So you really have your pick of, education and getting the information that you know very easily.
Yeah, that's right. It's interesting. There's literally so many classes,
Yeah,
and the different niche topics: how to sell high-end property, how to get into commercial, right?
yeah,
How to scale your business, and then you're also in a. And then so something which we did with Leslie is when she joined our specific group at EXP, we connected with her with a few really great role play partners to help her better understand the conversation that comes around speaking with buyers and sellers. So what's that been like, and how has it helped you so far?
yeah. So we've been role playing like almost every day for the last few months,
Mm,
and it really helped with my confidence in being able to talk to people and knowing kind of what to say. Because the more you do it, the more it kind of sticks in your head. And then when you actually get out in the field, you kind of go, oh yeah, it kind of makes sense why I'm asking these people these things,
right,
right?
right, right.
It does, and they respond in a certain way. So that was very valuable too, setting up having role playing every day, and we still do it. Uh, Really, really valuable in terms of getting out there and feeling confident about having those conversations with people.
When you're role playing, are you doing a particular script? Are you doing objections, or how are you organizing it?
Yeah, so we would pick different scripts to work on by the week,
Mm,
and different objections. So it wasn't always the same script. it would be different scripts like a door knocking script, a just sold script. Then we did some objections about price handling and commissions and things like that. So
Perfect.
different scripts, still practicing, not perfect at it, but I think it
Mm,
really helps in terms of those conversations, especially when you're going to get into the more difficult conversations with people that are really testing you.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. It's like, you of course with the agents, so you're able to practice them, and then there's a saying out there which goes, don't practice on your clients, right? Practice on your role play partners. So you've
Right.
really embraced that. And so what we did with Leslie is we pretty much got her in a role play group with agents who were in a similar position to her in terms of how long they've been in the business. But along with that, I remember, Leslie, I was role playing specifically, calling your friends and family and like how to tell them that you're an agent, and you really embraced that. You did like such a good job, and I could see, you would call somebody and end up being on the phone for 20 minutes, and you've got this like really good connection, and it's perfect because they will keep you in mind, right? Of course, you're going to have to do
Absolutely.
do the work and stay in touch with them,
Yeah.
whether that's
Yeah.
phone call, text messages, email campaigns. We've talked about social media a lot too. So Leslie, what would you say to an agent who is considering EXP, but they want to look at other brokerages because they're not 100% confident that it's the right choice? What would you say to that agent?
Well, I'd say really take a look at what that brokerage has to offer as compared to EXP, and talk to people in the brokerages. Like for EXP, it was a real no-brainer for me in terms of the education, which I think is the most important for the growth and your support from your people, that I have every day, like any time of the day. So I would tell them to really consider um, talking to people in the brokerage and see what they have to offer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. And then we haven't even talked about some of our other trainings which we do. So
Yes,
here in our group, it's great because we're typically getting on Zoom 3 times a week. We're all making calls together, or we're watching something educational together. We're even role playing, like listing presentations, specific objections. So it's great seeing people like Leslie coming back to us and saying, I experienced this specific objection out there on the field. How would I handle it next time? Because
exactly.
really, like the
Yeah,
first, yeah, like at the very beginning of the industry, being a new agent, I can't emphasize how important it is. Even if you are someone who is good with people, you need to really master the conversation around speaking to buyers, speaking to sellers, and handling the objections. So now that you've learned the like kind of like the foundation as far as paperwork, learn how to search for property on MLS. It's like lead generation. Do you have any goals you want to share? Buyers, sellers, anything at all? Income?
well, any goals for this year?
Yeah.
I just want to help people
Hmm.
get them to where they want to be. I have a goal of helping 14 families, friends, or individuals this year, and I'm on my way.
Nice. Okay,
Absolutely.
there you go. So 14 transactions. And listen, if you keep it up, head down, stay focused, right? Keep on tuning into the
Absolutely.
training, do the actions, the role play, then I think you got this. So this is great,
Yeah.
Leslie. We'll of course speak, and as you know, just really looking forward to watching you grow.
Thanks, Michael. I appreciate everything you've done for me so far. It's been
Okay.
fantastic.
You're the best. Okay, speak to you soon.
Thanks, Michael. You too.